So hello, well today I'd like to take a look at this book about Northwood, which is a town I'm very familiar with, because it's where I lived for a very long time. And this one is quite rare actually, it was printed in 1983. I'll give you an introduction there. So what is Northwood? Well, Northwood is on the Metropolitan line. It's part of Metroland and northwest London. What used to be known as the London... Well, it was known as Middlesex, but it's now in the London borough of Hillingdon. And a lot of the old buildings now have gone, sadly. They were developed. I think this is Eastbury House. I think that's long gone actually. It was redeveloped for, in the 1930s for housing, which obviously as the Metropolitan line stretched out, a lot of the roads around the area were named after one man, Frederick Murray Maxwell Hallowell Carew, who was one of Lord Nelson's captains, I think, Admiral Sir Benjamin Hallowell Carew, and they named their son Frederick, and he gave all the names to the roads. So obviously you can see there's Maxwell Road, there's Murray Road, Hallowell Road, Carew Road. So Northwood was originally like a farm, basically. It was mainly kind of just farmland, and then it was slowly developed. That's where I used to live actually, on the Rickmansworth Road. And this is the golf course on the left here, and Hills Lane, it says here, was next to my family home. So there you go. I'm so familiar with this walk because I used to do it a lot, and it's not that much changed, apart from the fact there'll be a restaurant somewhere up here now called the Bellevue, if it's still there. It was there for years. It was a Greek restaurant, and a fine dinner you could have in there. Look at these old adverts. Lodge Farmhouse, Rickmansworth Road. You see, they were all farms. Hills Lane, I've been down there many a time. That's very different now, the bottom of Hills Lane. It's all new housing, well, sort of 70s, 80s plots, There's the golf pavilion. Golf is very popular in Northwood. Northwood's predominantly quite a middle class area. There are sections of it. There's Northwood Hills, which is a little more affordable. Oh, there's the Bel Air, look. That's the Bel Air restaurant. So that used to be the Ripple Tea Rooms by the look of it. Yeah, it was. It's the same place. So I didn't even know that. Best Greek food in the world. George Michael used to go in there. That was known locally as the TLK, the True Lovers Knot. It's gone now, it's Block Flats. It was a good pub and served... It kind of manifested itself as a few different things. At the end it ended up as a steakhouse, and that didn't work out, so it ended up as being demolished. I think it was protected, it was listed, so somebody burned it down. Yeah, that's the sort of things people do, sadly. Make sure that's in focus. So there's the Rickmansworth Road, the avenue. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is today. Actually, Ricky Road hasn't really got that much more build going on. Look at the old car, awesome. So I used to work in there when I was a kid. The gate Northwood, the gate public house. So what these gates were the gates to the Moor Park residence. The Moor Park was like a large estate. And these used to be the gatehouses where they took toll to go through the estate. And there was one in Northwood and there was one in Chorley Wood, which is quite some miles away. So they obviously had a lot of money. So there you go, there's the Northwood Station. It's a tube station. It opened in 1887. Ironically, that booking hall kind of remained much the same for many years, but then it was modified and changed, and ultimately the old station was destroyed, and then there was a new one built. So Green Lane is the sort of main street of Northwood. The Northwood High Street is actually, there's not much going on down there. So there's the Gate Hill Estate. These were all big houses that were demolished eventually and turned into development, you know. Bowleys. Boot and shoe repairs. Look at that. Still an awesome cart it is. So this is very familiar. That Green Lane, as I say, is like the main high street. The high street in Northwood is actually the old high street, and it hasn't got much going on there. A few restaurants. I think there's a laundrette and some other bits and bobs. Yeah, awesome. That's also very familiar. Except it's gone now. It is gone. That is now where the monument is. You see, here we are. Look. That is now that. This is that. And that's gone. That was demolished, and a modern 60s block of flats was put on there with shops below. Car hire service. So there you go, there's the war memorial that I was just talking about. Awesome. Well, I think so anyway. I do enjoy these sorts of books, which is obviously why I own it. And also, I get homesick from time to time. Living in Poland, I'm not that happy all the way, to be honest with you. I get like, not depressions, because I'm not really that sort of a person, but I do feel low sometimes, and yeah, just it's nice to kind of reminisce. Look at that, unmade roads, look. And there's the Emmanuel Church, and with the extension from 1983. I remember that being built. Well, the start of it anyway. It was completed later because I was in Australia at that point. Holy Trinity Church was right opposite a friend of mine's house, so and that's the interior. Very pretty church, in actual fact. And there's the Wesleyan on Hallowell Road, the Methodist Church. And there's also a Catholic church as well in Northwood, and a synagogue. So there's something for everybody. Look at that. Awesome. Yeah, Pinner Road School, that's where a friend of mine went. And St Helens was the public school for the girls. And Northwood College. And the other big school in the area was the Merchant Taylors. Not actually in Northwood, that's itself, that's in well, that's more Parkway. Look at that, penny farthing bicycle. Sorted. Northwood Nursing Home, yep, now demolished. A lot of them are now, and sadly gone. The Grange is gone as well. Denville Hall still stands, that's an actor's home. And people on the Ducks Hill Road, it's called, and people like Sir Richard Attenborough went there with his wife. And that's the Denville Hall, around 1900. It's now an actor's rest home, as I say, and there's so many famous stars have passed away there. That's still there, that thing, that turret. Ducks Hill Road looks very different now. Not just the cars either, it has just blocks of flats mainly down there. There was very wealthy affluent houses down there at one point with kind of like half-acre plots, and eventually they were just sold off bit by bit, year by year, to build flats to accommodate the new way of living. Ye Old Green Man, another good pub. There's the gateway to Moor Park there, you see. The hospital at Mount Vernon, famous. There was parts of it open air that were devised for the First World War victims of gas, and they also had a hospital at Harefield where there was more focus on that such of a thing. And there's a massive Anzac memorial up there in Harefield, because a lot of these poor souls never made it, unfortunately. Oh, there you go, Northwood Hills Estate. Yeah. Look at the money though. Look at that. The typical £1 4 and 6 or whatever it is, you know. Purchase price £750. Deposit 57. I'll have the lot, mate. I'll have the old estate. If only, eh? If only we could scroll back into time and just grab the entire Northwood Hills estate. It's a greedy property developing mind I have. So there's the old Odeon, which is in Northwood Hills. That's not actually Northwood. Northwood Hills is a separate town. Yeah, like a suburb. They have their own station. Very much metro land. That's still there, I think. A lot of this sort of stuff is still there, that 20s Art Deco style. So there you go, a lucky pig. You may push me, you may shove, but I'm hanged if I'll be druv from Northwood. Yeah, well I was, sadly, but never mind. Or was that drove? Probably drove, isn't it? There you go, there it is. So familiar. So familiar. This is lovely, the Copsewood Estates, very, very wealthy. Yeah, there's Ducks Hill. It's Pinner. So I was here. I was about there. That's where my family home was. Just next to Hills Lane. And I'm backing onto the golf course, you see. 4! My old dad used to get golf balls through his windows. It was just to really wind him up. Poor monkey. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching as always. And yeah, all the very best wishes. Cheers. You're talking about though, you monkey. What are you up to? It's always up to something, that dog. Look at a barrow load of apples we've got. Don't know if you can see that, probably not. Got apples by the barrow load here if you want them. Come and get them, look. Cheers.